Okay, guys, we're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
Rules?
There are no rules.
What rules?
This is a revolution, damn it.
You'll hear things you've never heard before.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
And then there's the other guys.
We're the other guys. We're the guys nobody ever bets on.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Welcome to the show.
It's time for the Other Alliance Guys podcast with your hosts, Tim, Dave, and Jeremy.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and what can we tell you on this very echoey podcast that we have? We are 2/3 of the Other Alliance Guys, a presentation of alliance-wrestling.com, your number one source for news and information for the National Wrestling Alliance, the United Wrestling Network, various independents around the world. My name is Tim. I sometimes go by Alliance North, and I am joined by my brother in pod, Mr. Dave Scooby, fantasy booker extraordinaire. How are you, my friend?
Doing well.
Good. Jeremy, total Nonstop Grandpa, we'll call him today, is not down for the count, not lost somewhere in the ether, but rather celebrating the birth of his third, count him, 3 grandchildren so far, and just born the other, I gather maybe today or yesterday. So from what I understand, baby and mother doing very well, and championship wrestling from Jeremy, our friend Jeremy Miller, being very happy, just being a grandpa with his family tonight. So all the best to
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats, Jer. That's awesome, man. We do have some people here right now. And I'm sorry, Double D. I can't wait for Jeremy's WTF TNA segment. Not tonight. He's on grandpa duty, as you point out. He's probably shirtless. I think he's probably shirtless somewhere. That sounds like something Jeremy would be. And Double D also says, Dave, you should give us how you would have booked Cena's final run. You want to talk about it?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, we don't normally do WWE, but it's too big a thing to just miss. So how would you have done it?
Well, I mean, John Cena has been tried and true to WWF, WWE. He's done his time at the top, and I mean, it's coming to a close, but they're actually doing it the right way. Most of the time, when you say, "Oh, I'm going to retire," it's a Terry Funk kind of thing where you come back several times. John is going out the right way. They're pushing it the right way. If they would have done his heel turn correctly and had The Rock more involved, they could have seen where it would have gone. But with The Rock not being there, I would have never turned him. I mean, he once a baby face, always a baby face. People either, I mean, they love him because they hate him.
Right.
So it's one of those things of he's doing the right thing, trying to help those around him, and it's I mean, like they say on Busted Open, there's a difference between going over and getting over. I think John Cena could have won all of his matches and not had anything to do with losing on his whole run and still made people. So, I mean, most of the time when you lose or you retire, you go out losing. I'd have him win his final match, because a match with one of the greatest of all time is going to up your cachet up and up your value, whether you win or lose. If you win, you beat one of the greatest of all time. If you lose, you are in the match with one of the greatest of all time. It's that slight little difference. It doesn't mean you didn't get the job done. You just didn't get the job done that day.
Right.
that being in the match with them, once they're gone, they're gone. So you can say you had one of their final matches, and then you go on to do better for yourself. So I mean, he's won the IC title from Dom. He's now Grand Slam champion, has won all the titles. Whoever either wins that IC title or whatever they decide to do with it, there has to be a storyline.
Sure.
So it's one of those things of, I mean, it's 6 of one, half dozen of another. I don't know. They're doing what the WWE has done in the past, but they're also after answering to TKO and all their different quote unquote suitors, because I mean they have Netflix they have to deal with, they have ESPN, they have the CW with NXT. I mean they have USA doing SmackDown. They have to deal with all these different programs that they're putting out. And I think TKO is just looking at the dollars and not the cents. What makes sense in doing things? It's not so much it's the WWE as a whole and not the WWE as a wrestling organization. They're looking at it more of as a business than what it is. It's a business for sure, but it has history going back 50 years.
Yeah.
Even more if you go back to the WWF. But I think they corrected the ship when they had the quote unquote heel turn pushed to the side. And then John, in my opinion, I just see clips. I'm not a constant, let's sit down and watch 3 hours of Raw or 3 hours of this or this. But I see the highlights on Twitter. I see the highlights on YouTube. I can follow a story just by those. So it's one of those things of it is what it is. Hopefully they'll do the right thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to tune in for his last match.
Oh yeah.
You know, we don't watch WWE, you or I, religiously. We're clips guys, you know, and like, oh, Saturday night I got nothing to do, main events. Oh, okay, cool. But we'll be there for Cena's last match. Like I don't know about you. Did you watch Ric Flair's last match when he was like 150 years old?
No.
I paid for it.
I remember the WWE match that he had with Shawn Michaels.
That was good.
But then when they did the whole his final match and the tag match and all, I'm just like, no. In my eyes, Ric Flair had already been retired for so long.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things of I truly believe John Cena will stay true to his word. And this will be his final match. He may come back, but not as a wrestler. He'll come back as maybe a WWE ambassador,
right?
Or he may come back storyline wise as maybe an authority figure for an
special guest referee.
Referee, something like that. Something that he'll be involved, but he won't be involved. He'll be there, but he won't be there as a wrestler. He'll be there as an authority figure, an ambassador, or whatever, however they bring him in, but he will not wrestle again.
I agree. I am, the boss says, that beard, damn, I'm looking good, man. That's because I reached out to Jake Howell. I said, help me grow my beard. What are you doing with your beard? He gave me some tips on products and how his secret to that magnificent Kaylee beard, she doesn't do anything at all. He just lets the barber cut it once a month. But yeah, I agree, man. The only thing I would say differently is that, actually, I don't think it's differently. I think you might even agree, is that I would have him take that win over Lesnar and then lose immediately on, like, the next match, either to Lesnar or somebody else. I wouldn't even do it with Lesnar, but like, I think he needs that win over Lesnar. And even though he doesn't like talk about it anymore, and I think he's got to put somebody over, just like somebody like Dominic, if it hadn't just happened where he'd beaten Dominic now for the IC title. But like, if you had Dominic false finish, frog splash, kick out, AA, kick out, and then something happened, and there's a great finish at the end, and Dom gets pinned, 1, 2, 3, even like the penultimate match. I'm just giving an example here.
Yeah.
You can have that guy, even if he loses, like Devin was saying up here. Actually, he was using Dom. Losing to Cena was okay because I've been beaten by the greatest ever. But he can just, God damn it, like, I had you this way. He's pissed, he's angry, he's annoyed, and he can just look over and Cena could put the hand out to the final opponent, and like, that's a moment you'll remember.
Yeah.
You'll remember, just like you remember. I'm excited talking about it. Just like we remember Shawn Michaels in the corner. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love you. Right? Yeah. And like, that was a great moment.
Yeah.
And it was a great moment in wrestling. But anyway,
there's been talk of, I guess, maybe Dominic and Rey Mysterio going against each other at Survivor Series, being that it's in San Diego. That's a 619. So if Rey has had interaction with both John and his son Dom. So if Rey should win the IC title, that takes the story full circle. Then it's father against son, and he passes the torch back to Dominic if he loses. And I don't know. Rey Mysterio is 50, and he's been wrestling since he was about 15. So he's had quite a career. It's time to pass it along to his son and just be the ambassador. So it can go full circle if Rey Mysterio wins that IC title. So
there is the time is now tournament to determine who will be that last person, and I think it's going to be Gunther. That makes sense to me. He seems like someone that you could really, get something out of on a Lesnar-esque level by putting him over Cena. It's believable. It gives him that extra little rub that he probably doesn't need, but which he's maybe earned. So Double D thinks Gunther wins the tournament.
And it's one of those things of, if Gunther does win the tournament, I'd love to see Brock come out and stop Gunther from beating John, because he wants to be the only one that beat the greatest of all time. Then
that's right.
That sets up WrestleMania, whether it's for a title or not. Imagine Gunther and Brock Lesnar going at it.
Oh, I honestly look forward to that.
My God, the chops, just the chops.
I don't give a damn about WWE, but I'll look forward to the chops.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the suplexes. But that's how Dave would book Cena's final run. I think he's right. We're going to focus today our time, we might be a little bit shorter because no Jeremy tonight. As mentioned, he's with his family and his new grandchild, and exactly where he should be. We're going to focus on the NWA. Back to our roots, the other Alliance guys, following in the footsteps of the long-standing Alliance guys themselves, and NWA centric. We're going to go back there in a fashion and talk about a couple of things. And One is, well, Dave is going to wrap up the show with some fantasy booking around the National Championship, which, again, I'm aware the other show had a focus on that recently as well. The A show, but no, not the B show is going to talk about the national title. But Dave's going to tell us how he would book the national title for maximum exposure. I'm looking forward to that. I got some questions for Dave, but we're going to try something tonight. Before we do that, that if you are a fan of fantasy sports like I am, I play in 3 fantasy football leagues. I'm very proud of my Woodstock Screaming Eagles. That's us, baby. There is something in fantasy sports called stardom and sit-em. We're going to do this around the National Wrestling Alliance tonight. We'll move through different companies as time goes on, as week goes on, but we're going to assign people to our starting roster. If we're putting a roster together of wrestling talent today, and going through the roster of the NWA, and I'm going to name them out for Scoob. He'll tell us if we'll start him or sit him, and maybe tell us why. And sit him if just they aren't working. I'm going to put him on the bench. I'm going to let him ride the pine, or I'm going to send him to the territories.
Yeah.
Double D, I feel your pain, buddy. I feel your pain. It's been that year in the National Football League. But yeah, so that's what we'll do. We'll start him and we'll sit him. Now we're going to go, as we start this off tonight. I've lost my thing already here. Here you go. As we assign the starters and the bench warmers on the NWA roster, we're going to go by the NWA roster on as it's right now, because programming, as we've often talked about here, is about 3 months behind where it should be. And while I think we're long past, Dave, any spoilers ever coming. I think we're fine for that. Every show that, like, Jay and TK and Jason have talked about it as much as we have, or more, about this topic and who the champions are now. We're going to go by where the champions were then, because it's right here on the website, and I think they gotta own it. So Dave, let's start at the very tippity top, so to speak, of the NWA, at least according to their roster. The NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, Tom Latimer. Would you start him right now? Not 3 months ago, but right now. Would you start him or would you sit him?
Right now, I would sit Tom Latimer. As good as Tom has been, he's been a champion throughout his run, but he's been lost in the sauce. Right. And I mean, it's one of those things of how can I miss you if you don't go away? Right now, there's not a space I see for Tom Latimer. So let him go away or go out on the territories, go do his wrestling school, go spend some time with his family, with Camille. Still be involved with wrestling, but not on, quote unquote, the main stage of the NWA. If he's going to go somewhere, have him go out onto the territories and work as a scout, because he knows what it takes to be in the NWA ring. So if he can get a good match out of somebody out on the territories, use him as a scout. They've done as much as they can with him right now. Yeah. So it's time to take a little break.
I agree. I think Tom Latimer is the shit. I like him better than anybody else in the NWA. I have for a long time, despite the booking that he has endured and the lack of opponents that he's been given from time to time, and just the various obstacles that are in Tom Latimer's way. I think he looks great. He sounds great. He's an incredible heel. I mean, like, don't waste my time with babyface Tom Latimer. Right? He's fine, but he's an incredible heel. Give me the king of all evil. But I would also sit him right now. What about the NWA Women's World Champion Natalia Markova? I know Noob was here a second ago. He's his number one girl. What'd you do with Natalia Markova?
Wow.
Tough one, isn't it?
It's just taken so long for her to get to where she is. I'd start her. She's earned the spot, definitely. I'd start her. She can help make some others. But that's the thing. The NWA is just so lacking of challengers right now on the women's side.
Yeah.
So I think they need her to do her run, whether it's a 6-month run, a year run, maybe a year and a half. They need time to build up other challengers. Right now, Tiffany Nieves is the closest that they have to somebody that is ready to step up a notch. But let Markova get a little shine. She's been there for years.
I agree.
She's done whatever they've asked of her, so I'd keep her on the starting lineup. But they need to build up a couple more true challengers. But I'd keep her on the starting lineup.
I would too, and I think to echo that is she has earned it, and also I'd let her know that I'm going to be putting her on the bench in about 6 months.
Yeah.
And or sending her to the territories or something. And as we build somebody up for that title, we've seen a lot of Markova. She's given a lot to the NWA, but I think that we can see from here that she's going to sit after a while. Again, going by their website and the champions here, NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion Alex Taylor. Start him or sit him? It's not easy.
No, I mean,
if you're in the chat and because I can see lots of people are watching right now, just go into the chat on YouTube or we're on Twitch right now as well, and just say, hey, you guys are crazy, or yeah, I think you're right, or tell us what you think along the way.
Well, I mean, with Alex, they haven't had him be a strong junior heavyweight in defending the title.
Right.
He's defended it, but they haven't shown his defenses. He's been out on the territories. I'd put him out on the territories. He's a very good wrestler, and he can do what Tom could do as well. He could be a scout. Put him out on the territories. I'd sit him in the NWA, but have him be active out on the territories. That he knows what it takes. He's built himself up to be in that NWA ring. He can, quote unquote, be a forecaster of who can possibly make it up to the NWA, because he's traveled those roads and he's done the territories out with Plunkett, and he's been out there with Danny Deals. So I'd probably sit Alex Taylor right now in the NWA, but I'd have him active out on the territories.
I would sit him as a singles wrestler. I'd probably, if I didn't put him in a tag team, I'd probably do the same and send him out to the territories, or essentially sit him. Now we're going to be talking about the national champion in a second, because the NWA recognized the national title. And guys like Don Brody or Kevin Northcutt or Hernandez, these kind of people held the title. Honestly, I don't recognize every name that you've thrown up there, but my understanding is that the NWA recognizes the national championship back to Georgia, which would have been 80 to about 86, 87. And then from 2000, I'm guessing, or even earlier, I think. It would have been 96, 97 up for till, um, till before the end of, or the beginning of the Lightning One era. So they recognize all of those people who are in the national championship. If those guys won the belt during that period between like 97 and like, I don't know, 2017, 2018, something like that, then my understanding is that they're recognized as national champions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were in the era, even where an independent promotion was basically renting the NWA logo and namesake, and you had an NWA recognized title, you're an NWA champion.
Yeah.
Regardless, I've always looked at it that way. Wrestling-titles.com always has, and they're your go-to when it comes to that sort of thing. So I think long story longer, yes. Millennial Noob. I have Nattie Markova defend the NWA women's title in the territories, particularly in JCP. I would agree. Take it around.
Yep.
Double D, I'm confused. I thought it was a fantasy draft. That's a great idea, actually. But we got to get like a whole bunch of people and draft people. I don't know. That's fun to think about. Jack Briscoe was the first NWA National Champion. I think it was Austin Idol, wasn't it?
Yeah, Austin Idol was the first one.
Yeah.
And it was vacated.
Yeah. There are, wrestling is weird, so don't feel like 100%. There might have been another title and another promotion of a similar or same name that gets mixed up, and Dave's the only one old enough to remember things like when Pat Patterson won the Intercontinental title. Dave was there when it happened down in
Rio.
We're down in Rio. Dave saw it.
It was great.
Yeah, who did he beat? You don't remember?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I don't know what's going to happen to Natalia if she drops the Burke. Like, will she stay in the NWA or go to the big league like WWE, AEW, or TNA? I know how the high regard that you hold Natalia Markova in, Noob, and I would never say this in any kind of way to, insult you or the world women's champion, who is a fine wrestler. I've seen her. Dave and I sat side by side ringside at 74, 75 against Camille. Hell of a match. Anyway, but she's not going to go to any of the big time promotions. If she was, she'd be in her 20s, and I don't think she was in her 20s. She's not in her 20s. I think she's probably mid 30s right now, and I think if there had been AEW potentially out of the three, I think might pick her up, but I wouldn't see WWE or TNA looking at her. Patrick says no. Austin Idol was the NWA, was national TV champion. Okay, I can't argue.
He may have been, but I mean, the national.
It's Austin Idol.
That he won.
Yeah, I'm positive it's Austin Idol.
Yeah, it was Austin Idol. He defeated Mr. Wrestling 2.
Okay.
And that was the Georgia Heavyweight Championship. That was back in 1980.
Right.
March of 1980, and that was the new national title.
You know what it was?
For Georgia.
You know what it is? It's because Austin Idol vacated that championship or had it taken from him. I don't remember. I was 9 or 10, forgive me. But Jack Briscoe was the second person to have that belt. I'm a belt guy. Anyway, let's keep going here. National championship, before we focus on the national championship, it's Mike Mondo. Mondo won that title not too long ago. This title getting some more attention these days, Dave, because AEW has decided to create not only a title of the same name, but a title of the same lineage they claim.
I have no idea what Tony Khan is thinking.
Yeah.
But I mean, Mondo, this is the time to push him. Whether it be on NWA territories, outside defenses. I mean, Mondo is taking that title everywhere he goes, and I mean, he's even posting, having some sushi, and it's him sitting at a table eating sushi with the title right behind him. So this is one of those things that do not sit him at all, start him. If anything, I would push the national title as much as you can at TV tapings and any recorded events. Wherever he goes, hell, I'd even do almost like a 10 pounds of gold series, making the national title a national title.
We're going to get into this because I sent you a note in our Discord. I hate the national title because of what the NWA has done to the national title, but we'll get into that. But you would start Mike Mondo.
Yes.
So would I. Let's rapid fire a few of these. Brian Idol, you're, as of the website, NWA World Television Champion. Start him or sit him?
I would highlight him out on the territories, but I think it's time to sit him and have someone else. Like we've said before, the TV title, I mean, Jay has mentioned it, bounce it around. Have different people win it at different times and places. At your TV tapings, have that title defended 2 or 3 times. And then maybe have an upset on the third match or the second match. Then you have a new champion. Then the next TV taping, that champion either keeps it or they do a hot potato. They make that TV title something that is important, but it bounces back and forth, and you see how the people respond, whether it be the crowd responding to that wrestler or how that wrestler responds with a title. So it's one of those things of I'd probably bench Idol at this time and throw him out onto the territories to help bring up your next round of possible NWA talent. But it's time for someone else to hold that TV title.
Right. I just want to point out, Patrick Bush said he's going by what Pro Wrestling Titles, wrestling-titles.com has. And I looked it up, and it's correct. They've got Jack Briscoe announced as the first champion. So I sit corrected. Very nicely done. I used to be the belt guy. You think I know that? Good job on your front. I swear I thought it was Austin Idol. But I will believe you when you say he was a national TV champ. I'll just finish up the champs as per the NWA, and maybe just do 1 or 2 more of the roster. We can do the rest when Jeremy's here. But Tiffany Neviv, start him or sit him?
Start him.
100%. Jeremiah Plunkett, your Mid-America champion, which I find interesting that it's written on the website, as their main roster. I would think of that as a territorial title. But yeah. Jeremiah Plunkett, love Plunky, but Dave, start him or sit him?
I'd start him, but they need to highlight him every once in a while on the NWA. I know they've had him in like little battle royals or something, but I mean, even if he's not wrestling, have him cut a promo saying I'm a traveling champion. You may not see me here on Power, but I'm out 2-3 times a month defending this title, and I'm going to bring this title to the NWA at whatever such and such event that's coming up, their signature live event.
Right.
But I'd keep him going. I mean, Plunky has been tried and true to the NWA since the beginning of Lightning One. So let him build up some other people to bring into the NWA by use of him defending that title.
Right. It's a tough call for me, but I feel like he's the one guy on the roster who, even if your brain says you got to sit him as a main roster guy and keep him out on the territories where he is right now and doing that thing. If he's a main, like my heart says, he's main roster for me, and he can stay as long as he wants to. He's the one guy I would do that to. I think of the world of that guy inside the ring, and friend of Jay's, friend of the Alliance as well. Let's be honest. So just an all around good character, good guy, and big fan. Knox and Murdoch, NWA World Tag Team Champions. Would you start or sit either one of them together or apart, Div?
I mean, they work so well together. If Mike Knox is still quote unquote injured, I'd sit him for a while. It's time for some new blood, and use Trevor out on the territories. Use him with WLW. I know he's still involved with the Harley Race Academy. Sometimes it's time to shuffle the deck, and as good as they are, it's time to highlight some others. So I'd sit them right now.
Okay. Patrick says, who would also help being for the NWA National? We're talking 45 years ago. I couldn't really tell you.
He beat Mr. Wrestling 2.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
And that was for the Georgia Heavyweight Championship, which I guess
probably is right during that period where it overlaps.
Yeah. So I mean it's. So I mean it's. I don't know if it was a tournament or how they did it, but
I mean, it was a while ago. Who knows? But you got it. You got it through wrestling titles, man. I give it to you. That's absolutely correct. They can do no wrong. Their work. If you look into behind the scenes on what has been done on that site, you can find the evidence behind. It's not just like he used to talk to a bunch of people. Like, oh yeah, that's the way it was, and like it's a consensus. No, he's got, posters and write-ups, and it's an amazing resource. Slime Bowser is now. Let's finish up the chants. TVMA, the NWA World Women's Tag Team Champions. Dave, Tiffany, and with Miss Stars, their manager, and what the hell is her name? Oh my God, I'm so.
Valentina Rossi.
Valentina Rossi. What would you do with them? Would you keep them?
I mean, you got to start them. I mean, they're one of the only tag teams besides Pretty Empowered out there. So until you beef up the roster or bring in some territorial women's tag teams, you got to keep them or shelf the belts.
That's exactly where I was going to go. I would not. I would keep them as singles talent.
Oh yeah.
I would shelf the women's tag team division. Let's call it what it is. Finally, for champions on the roster again 3 months ago, the Southern Six, who what's it been? A couple of years now since Australia,
Yep.
and they were formed over there, and there was a buzz amongst our community, amongst the Alliance fam, about what's going to happen with the Southern Six. And hey, listen, there's no doubting that they have had some belts, some success, but specifically talking about the tag team of Kerry Morton and Alex Taylor. Let's just talk about Kerry Morton. What would you do with Kerry Morton? We talked about Alex Taylor already.
Kerry, I'd keep. He does have the Morton name recognition. He's just quote unquote starting out. He's been wrestling for a while, but he seems to be like the lost child. He's the redheaded stepchild of the Southern Six. The others have belts or have had belts. And I mean, granted, they are the U.S. tag champions, but in my eyes, that needs to be a territorial belt set of titles.
Right.
So, I mean, I'd sit him as a tag champ, but I'd keep him on the roster. It's just right now, for the time allotted for programming, the NWA just has too many belts to highlight them under the National Wrestling Alliance. Maybe under the territories, those belts would do better. So if you take some of those belts away from the NWA, quote unquote, proper, it'd be okay in my eyes. But I mean, I'd sit the titles, but I'd still start Kerry Morton.
I'm going to rapid fire a few, and then we'll save some more for next week.
Okay.
So just start with sit him. Don't give me any explanation. Alex Misery.
Start.
Baron Von Storm.
Sit.
Burchill.
Sit.
Wow. Carson Drake.
Start.
Even though he's injured, Colby Carino.
Start.
Me too. Good luck to you, Colby. We're thinking of you. Daisy Kill.
Start.
Gags the Gimp.
Sit.
Would you start the guy behind the mask?
Definitely.
There you
go. The guy behind the mask, I mean, he's a carpenter. He knows how to work a match. I'd put him out on the territories myself.
Right. Jay Bradley.
I'd sit him.
I would have said sit too, but I saw him the other day and in the most recent episode of Power. He looks like $1 million. I think that there's something he's put the work in.
Yeah.
I'll just do a couple more, just out of interest. Mims.
Wow.
Tough one.
I'd start him.
I'd sit him, but I'd be retooling him, and he wouldn't be sitting for long.
Yeah. Okay.
Odinson.
Start.
How about this? Zion.
Sit.
Yeah. It's time. It's long past time. Who plays Gags? I don't know. Just look it up, man. Or hit me up on the Discord, and I'll tell you. I don't know. I don't want to be that guy. I think everybody kind of knows, but I don't want to be that guy. Hey, you know what? Managers, Dave, Austin Idol, start him or set him?
Wow.
No.
Maybe a few months ago I'd sit him, but now that the national title is being quote unquote featured with AEW and all, he has a link to the lineage of that title. So I'd be pushing him as much as you can. Put him out on social media and have him claim stake to the origin of that title.
I got 3 more for you.
Okay,
Father James Mitchell,
sit.
Danny Deals,
Start.
Ricky. There you go. And very lastly, William Patrick Corgan.
I would sit. Be like, go do your music. You're better at that.
Very good. Very good. I think we're about 99% aligned all the way through here. Nice job. Let's talk about the National Championship as we step into the fantasy booking in a minute. As mentioned, and I don't want to repeat everything that was probably said on the other broadcast, but there is an All Elite Wrestling title that has been announced because, like the NWA, they are title happy. And it's the national title, as I understand it. And yes, Patrick has put it in there into the chat. Who Gags is. So, anyway, of the same name, not only of the same name, but of the same lineage. I know you kind of touched on this a few minutes ago, Dave, but does that hurt the NWA to have a big name company? Let's face it, they're number 2, and to say, hey, we are restarting the national title that went out and before, like at the end of the NWA before the Lightning One period, we are restarting that lineage. Or maybe they say it goes back to 1986 or whatever. And we're restarting that here under our banner. And here's the belt, and we're having a tournament for it, or whatever it is Tony Khan wants to do. Do you think it hurts or helps the NWA who says, hey, the title already exists. It's right here in our company. What do you think?
Well, it brings some attention to the NWA that others may not know about. But it's one of those things that now that the attention has been brought, the NWA needs to bring it. And it's not the attention. They need to bring it and just highlight it anywhere and everywhere. This would be one of those things that I would get Tyrus back involved with the NWA.
Ooh.
And have Tyrus bring Mike Mondo on the Gutfield show with that title. Use it. What do you have to lose? It'd be a one-time, hey, I'm going to bring a friend of mine. They have connections. I mean, the Spirit Squad was around when Tyrus was there.
I'm assuming you're booking this right now. This is we're going right into this, which is awesome. Yeah, Tyrus is there. That's great exposure.
I mean, it's one of those.
I used to argue about this about the TV title or the World's title, that there was so little value, and he was very right, and I thought in other ways I was very right, but I think there's value in it. I agree.
But I mean, hey, the national title on national TV, hey, and I mean, all he'd have to do is, hey, we're looking at this, and the national title has been around, it just hasn't been featured. Tony Khan is trying to, I mean, he's almost stealing from Peter to pay Paul.
Right.
They have so many titles. I can say that about the NWA as well. But AEW has so many titles. Will this title be lost in 2 weeks after somebody's crowned champion? What is the national title? What's it going to be in AEW? Is it going to be that they said, oh well, this is going to be a national title. Wherever it goes, it's going to represent that nation. So it's not a North American title. It's not a title that can only be defended in Mexico. When it's down in Mexico, it's a national Mexican title. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
It's confusing. And I mean, Tony Khan, I don't understand. It's one of these things of, because he has all this money, he thinks he can do whatever he wants. I don't know. But you can't tell me that nobody did any research that they could have typed in national wrestling title, national pro wrestling title, and it would have popped up NWA. It would have popped up probably first the Georgia 1980 Austin Idol, and then probably Lightning One. Just do your research. I mean, it's almost like when Ric Flair went to the WWF. Hey, it's big gold, but it's blurred out. You know what it is. You know where it came from.
Right. As you step into this booking thing too, as I mentioned, I'm going to throw some obstacles at you here, like that, whether or not the AEW one hurts or helps. Another thing to it, and is there's been some really great names attached to it over the years, and with the NWA roster, there's been some, modern day great names attached to it. But unfortunately, the treatment of the NWA National Championship, in my mind, Dave, since about the last 4 or 5 years, has been abysmal.
Yeah.
Like, looking at it here, because I had to pull it up from memory, you had Trevor Murdoch win that title off of Aaron Stevens back in 2020. And Chris Adonis ends up taking it from him in March of 2021. He vacates it to enter that battle royal, as you may remember, from the number one contender to the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. And then there's a tournament where he defeats JTG to regain it. It was vacant. Then later on, you've got Jack Stain cashed in that title for an NWA World Championship belt. Rest in peace, Jax. You had EC3 vacated for the same. You had Thrillbilly vacated for the same.
Yep.
You had Latimer vacated for the world title match. It is a belt that you get to hold for a short period of time and just throw it away because I want the world's title now.
Yeah, it's a stepping stone.
What's that? Go ahead.
It seems like it's a stepping stone. It's, I won this so I can go on to something better.
Yeah. So to me, it needs rehabbing, and Patrick Moore has been saying it here, put Mike Mondo out everywhere to defend it around the territories. I think the end of the AEW national title could help the NWA, maybe in putting eyes on it. How do you rehab that belt, Dave? How would you go about rehabbing the national championship? As, like, if you're working with a bigger company, somebody said this in the Discord like today or yesterday, and I forget who it was, or I give them credit. Maybe it was Big Chris Doc. Doesn't everybody want to deal, if you're going to deal with the NWA, don't you want the world's title, to be the one that you're out there doing stuff with? Are they gonna care that the national title appears somewhere else other than the NWA territories if that happens? Like, do you remember caring if Jeff Jarrett when he brought the NWA North American title to the WWF, that it meant anything at all? How do you rehab the belt?
Well, it's one of these things of if they want if someone outside of the NWA wants a shot at the 10 pounds of gold, they have to go through and beat your national champion first. That if you're going to use the national championship as a stepping stone, any and all challengers for the 10 pounds of gold should have to go through the national championship, or should have to go through the national champion. That if you're wanting to bypass who your national champion is and go for the 10 pounds of gold, use them as a stepping stone. And that's how you can either build up some prestige with that title by constantly changing it. That if, like, let's say Richard Holiday wants a shot at Thrillbilly, and he comes into the NWA, Mondo should step up to him and go, whoa, 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 whoa. You don't get to jump the line. You have to go through me and beat my ass and win this title before you can go after the 10 pounds of gold. If you don't beat me, I have claim to the next challenge for the 10 pounds of gold. And then your champion could laugh it off. Because I mean, you look at Mike Mondo. The man is cut. The only thing that is, in my opinion, the only thing that is negative is his size, height-wise.
Right.
He's maybe 5'8", 5'10" at most with boots on. So you need to be careful who you put him against. That it's either going to be David and Goliath, where it's going to be some huge guy going against him, or it can be a guy that is, you can fudge maybe 4 to 6 inches, but anything over 6 inches, you can see a sizable difference. Muscle-wise, he's there. He has the look, but you have to be careful of who you go against. Anybody that is roughly over 6'3" or 6'4", height-wise, it may be a height differential against a strength differential. Where if you put him against somebody like Slade right. is built, but he's not built as big as Mondo. So you can look at it and go, well, I can see him possibly winning because of his strength advantage. But it's one of those things that you have to be careful what and who you put him against. But I mean, in building up that national title, you have to do something. And I'd put him against anybody and everybody. And I mean, I'll be talking about it. I'd go out of my way, and I'm sure Mike Mondo as a wrestler has anything and everything, because a lot of these wrestlers, as your career goes, you keep film, pictures, whatever, that I'm sure he has something dealing with the Spirit Squad of when he was with WWF, WWE back in the day. Nick Nemeth was also part of that squad.
Yeah, that's right.
If you can get Nick Nemeth to come in and put him over, whether it be put him over verbally or put him over in a match, that just rises his stock. And I mean, Nick Nemeth is what, 6'1", 6'2". He's a good-sized wrestler, but he wouldn't look out of place in a ring with Mike Mondo due to the size difference in Mondo being a lot more cut and more developed muscle-wise. So it's one of those things of you just got to pick and choose how you raise the stock. And I'd be like I'll be talking about, I'd have him go defend anywhere and everywhere. The more names he defends against, whether it's in the NWA, EC3, former champion. I know he's been injured, but it can be one of those things of PB Smooth comes out to help his quote-unquote tag partner, and it backfires, and EC3 loses the match to Mike Mondo. By hook or by crook, you still beat a former national champion and heavyweight champion.
Right.
That raises the stock of Mike Mondo. So it's you just have to be careful how you do it and who you do it with.
I think you're 100% correct. And I'd add that I think that there's ways to also make the champ look tremendously, almost Goldberg-esque without, just having to do it with like being careful with the opponents. Like, I always think of this example, I don't know if you're a comic book guy growing up, Dave, but like, who's the coolest X-Man of all time in everyone's mind? Wolverine, right?
Wolverine, yep.
In the comics, Wolverine's like 5'5", something like that, 5'4", 5'6", I don't know. Not any taller. He's a little guy, but there's never any doubt he's winning that fight.
Yeah.
And, that Steve Austin-esque, charisma and just, badassery that can fill a champ like a guy like Mondo. I agree. I think he's a good, you use him to rehab the belt.
Yeah.
So how in the end do you promote it? The Nattie, like you mentioned as well that you could use it as a stepping stone to the 10 pounds of gold. Like back in the dark days, maybe the wilderness years of the NWA, there was a North American title. If you had that belt, you were going on to the world, right? Steve Corino would have to go up to Winnipeg at one point and wrestle whoever that guy was. His name escapes me. Still active to me. Anyway, but new North American champion, or you knew that there was going to be a new world champion shortly. But so beyond that, how do you get the national title on different platforms? And by that I mean, like, do you send them to different companies, or just the territories, or just on Power, or what?
I'd send it anywhere and everywhere. Granted, Power is 2.5 to 3 months behind.
Yeah.
But Mondo is currently listed as champion, so I just insert promos each and every week. Hi, this is Mike Mondo, your NWA National Champion. 30-second promo. I won it against so-and-so. I'm taking on any and all comers. Hit up my website or the National Wrestling Alliance website for my next defense. And have him defend, if not on a weekly basis, at least 2 to 3 times a month. Anywhere and everywhere. Put it out there. You're not going to play catch up with the Power episodes, but you can put, storyline wise, I'm not sure where they are with him holding the championship. I know he's won it, but I'm not sure how they're going to feature him. But just throw in a promo every Power episode, and I'd almost do a 10 pounds of gold series with him. Do a national series following the national championship, making the national championship a national title. And anywhere he goes, whether it's a 5-minute, 10-minute, 60-second promo, I mean, like, he has a picture of him eating sushi, like I said. Have a 30-second promo of him. Hey, I'm out with the national championship. Everywhere I go, this championship goes as well. He's eating and it pans over and there's the championship right next to him. I'm at, like, if he comes to Baltimore, I'm at Jimmy's Seafood, Jimmy's Famous Seafood. Any wrestling fan who knows about Baltimore knows about Jimmy's Famous Seafood. It's infamous for wrestlers. It's almost like anywhere you go, find the most well-known place. Like if you're in New York City and you go to Madison Square Garden, hey, I'm taking the championship to the national championship to MSG. He's not wrestling there, but he's standing right in front of it with the national championship. He's going to the Empire State Building. If he's going, hey, look, I'm at the Staples Center with the national championship. Wherever he goes, go to a place that everybody knows about. I'm taking this championship everywhere I go. This championship goes. So it's an actual national champion. It's throughout the nation. If he's going down to Mexico, this is part of North America. This is part of South America. Hey, I'm over in Australia. This isn't part of the U.S., but I'm still repping the national championship. Wherever he goes, that championship goes as well. Whether
I like the idea. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I like the idea you just hit on there of like, well, like everything's 3 months behind, but maybe this way the national title doesn't have to be.
Yeah. I mean, he may not be defending it on Power, but if he's defending it elsewhere, have him promo, hey, I'm going to be at Exodus Pro at the end of the month. I'm going to have him show up at Survivor Series. He's not in a match, but he's at the location of Survivor Series. I'm in San Diego. Hey, I've got this national championship with me. Nobody's here. I don't have to defend it tonight, but I'm at Survivor Series with the national championship. So it's one of these things. I mean, even though it may not be storyline driven on Power, have him push. Hey, I'm your championship. I'm sure Mims wants a rematch, but hey, let's see what other National Wrestling Alliance wrestlers are willing to put their career on the line. Maybe do a career. If you don't win the title belt, you have to go back out onto the territories. You're no longer a National Wrestling Alliance wrestler. If Carson Drake doesn't win, he goes back to Exodus Pro, and he's not on NWA quote-unquote TV for 3 months. Well, at the next taping, he could be featured on NWA because it's 3 months behind.
Right.
It's just how they choose to do things.
That's interesting. I think you're on to a few things there, Dave, and I appreciate it. What time is it? Oh, it's good. 7 foot, it's an hour and 10. That's not bad for two guys, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's wrap it up. Where can they find you as I roll the social media stuff on the bottom of the screen here?
You can find me at Dave Scooby over basically on Twitter a lot, Instagram every once in a while, and Blue Sky maybe once a week. But yeah, hit me up if you have any ideas. Hit me up either online or in the Discord. And oh, nice, Devin. I just saw that. What did I know about 6 inches? Oh, it's a Subway sub. It's a half a foot long, something like that.
I don't see that at all in
the chat.
What's that?
Uh,
Oh, there you go. I see
Yeah.
good show, guys. That's all I see now. I'll take your word for it. I'm on Facebook at Tim Wood if you want to hit me up. But gotta go to the Discord. Go to the Discord. Like anybody who talks in our community around, well, specifically the National Wrestling Alliance, but also if you're into like United Wrestling Network, if like as big as you kind of go is TNA. If you're into all of the territories, like anybody who's talks about that stuff on social media that you see out there on Twitter, you're correct on that front, Double D. Is in the Discord. You can hit me up at Tim Wood at Facebook. I'll give you the Discord thing if you can't write it down fast enough. But by all means, there's like 80 people in that Discord right now. I can't keep up. So it's good stuff. It's where everybody talks and yells at each other about everything. Hopefully, if this video works this week, we'll see you guys next week. All the best to our buddy Jeremy. So and his new grandchild. So until next time, should this work? I'm sure Dave's pointing his finger right now.
Yep.
See you at the matches.
Thanks for joining the streams. This has been a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com. We genuinely appreciate your support. Would you consider subscribing so you'll never miss a future episode? I'd also like to remind you we do a live stream every Tuesday at 5 p.m. before NWA Power. You can find